My dear friend, let's sit together in this fragile moment where you feel like you're at the end of your rope, where the weight of life's burdens has stretched your strength to its breaking point and holding on feels nearly impossible. I want to speak to those times when you're exhausted, maybe from endless struggles, heartbreak, or dreams that keep slipping away. Perhaps you're facing financial strain, health battles, or relationships that drain you, and your faith feels like it's hanging by a thread. It's a desperate, soul-weary place, isn't it? You might feel hopeless, question if God sees your pain, or fear you can't go on. But let me assure you right now, when you're at the end of your rope, you're not at the end of God's plan. He's holding you in the breaking, affirming your divine worth, renewing your strength, and guiding you to a purpose that shines for His glory. Drawing on Dr. Myles Munroe's wisdom about your God-given purpose, I'll unpack why you're at this breaking point and show you how to hold on with vibrant faith, trusting God's grip and thriving in the destiny He's crafting, not defined by the despair or exhaustion you feel. Picture this, you're not alone at the end of your rope. Think of Elijah who, after great victories, sat under a broom tree, exhausted and begging God to take his life, yet God sent angels to strengthen him for a new mission. Or consider Paul, who faced countless hardships and felt pressed beyond measure, yet God's grace sustained him to spread the gospel. Even Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane felt the crushing weight of his calling, yet God's strength carried him to the cross and beyond. Dr. Myles Munroe taught that your worth isn't diminished when you're at your limit. It's magnified in the purpose God is sustaining through your weakness. When you're at the end of your rope, it's not a sign of God's absence, but of His nearness, holding you for a destiny that glorifies Him. This breaking point isn't your end. It's God's opportunity to show His power in you. Let's explore why you're at the end of your rope and what God is doing in this moment. First, God allows you to reach your limit to teach you reliance on Him. When your strength fails, His power shines. As 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." That exhaustion is an invitation to lean on Him. Second, this season is refining your faith. The struggle strips away self-dependence, deepening your trust in God's promises and preparing you to carry your purpose with humility. That pain is shaping your heart. Finally, God is positioning you for breakthrough. At the end of your rope, He's aligning circumstances, resources, people, or your own readiness for a miracle that testifies to His faithfulness. Dr. Munroe said, your purpose is like a seed buried in darkness before it breaks through. That's you right now, held in God's hands, even when you feel you can't hold on. I know this season stirs raw emotions. Being at the end of your rope can make you feel powerless, like your efforts are futile, or like God's promises have faded. You might think, I've got nothing left, or God doesn't see me. Perhaps you're tempted to let go, to give up on your dreams or faith, or to believe you're too broken to matter. I felt that desperation, my friend, and it's heavy. But let me speak to your soul. You're not defeated. You're being held. You're not called to measure your worth by your strength or to collapse in despair. You are a child of God, crafted with a heart that endures, a purpose that shines through the breaking. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." That's you, seen, saved, held by God. This breaking point is God inviting you to shine where your weakness meets His strength. Let me share a story to make this vivid. I once knew a woman who hit the end of her rope when her marriage fell apart, leaving her a single mother with mounting bills. She felt God had abandoned her prayers for restoration. In her despair, she joined a church group, pouring her pain into helping others. That community lifted her, and a new job opportunity emerged, giving her stability and hope. Her breaking point wasn't God's neglect, it was His preparation, shaping a purpose that blessed many. She thrived, surrounded by those who valued her, her faith renewed. That struggle became her testimony, echoing Dr. Munroe's words, "Your worth is in who God made you, not the moments you're breaking." That's the power I want you to embrace today. You're at the end of your rope because God is teaching you reliance, refining your faith, and positioning you for a breakthrough that glorifies Him and affirms your divine worth. This exhaustion isn't your failure. It's a sign that God is working, holding you where your heart belongs. Dr. Munroe taught that your purpose is to reflect God's glory, not to be dimmed by despair. When you hold on with faith and keep shining, you become a beacon, ready for the moment God lifts you. The struggle might test you, but you'll be too busy thriving in God's plan. Your life a testament to His faithfulness. If you're crumbling, doubting, you can hold on in this desperate season. Hear this, release that burden. You're not defined by your exhaustion or the limits of your strength. You're defined by the God who loves you, who holds you, who calls you his own. Don't let thoughts like I'm too weak or it's over dim your light. You are enough just as you are. God's got a place where your heart will soar, but you must hold on to his grip to step into it. Isaiah 40:31 says, those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. That's God's promise. You will soar. Trust that he's holding you even now. So how do you hold on? First, root yourself in God's strength. Stop measuring your worth by your capacity and start resting in his power. Spend time in his presence, letting verses like Psalm 55:22 fill you. Cast your cares on the Lord and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. Tell yourself daily, God holds me. My heart is his. I'm destined to shine. When you're anchored in his strength, the breaking point loses its grip and you shine with a confidence that comes from knowing you're held. Next, surrender your burdens to God. The weight isn't yours to carry. His grace sustains you. Take your pain to him in prayer. Say, Lord, I'm at my end. Hold me and show me your purpose. Write down your struggles, then release them, trusting that God's plan outweighs the despair. Dr. Munroe taught that you're called to steward your purpose, not bear the weight alone. Pray for strength to hold on and seek out one or two who can remind you of God's faithfulness, aligning with his plan. When you surrender the burdens, you reclaim your hope, and that freedom lets you thrive as God's beloved. Then embrace your God-given purpose. Being at the end of your rope might drain you, but your heart was never meant to stay broken. It's meant for God's glory. Celebrate what makes you you, your gifts, your faith, your resilience. Pour your energy into what aligns with God's purpose. Serve others. Take small steps in faith. Hold fast to your calling. Dr. Munroe said your purpose is where your gifts meet God's call. When you lean into God's plan, you find strength to hold on, and the breaking point fades into the brilliance of your destiny. To those feeling hopeless, thinking your limits mean you're finished or afraid to hope, worried the struggle defines you, I get it. The end of your rope feels like the end of everything and the fear of falling is heavy. But you can't live God's purpose by letting go or believing you're too broken, shining, serving, chasing your dreams. It takes a heart that trusts and it's safe in God's hands. Don't let the exhaustion define you. Trust that God is holding you, that he's crafting your purpose, that your destiny is secure. Matthew 11:28 says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That's you resting in God, free to shine. Your purpose awaits when you hold on to his grip. Let me share another story. I knew a man who reached the end of his rope after years of battling addiction, his family distant and his prayers for freedom silent. In his lowest moment, he joined a recovery program, clinging to faith. His perseverance led to sobriety and a ministry helping others heal. His breaking point wasn't his end. It was God's preparation, crafting a purpose that saved many. He thrived, supported by those who valued him, his faith radiant. That journey proved Dr. Munroe's truth. Your worth is in who God made you, not the moments you're breaking. So what's this breaking point holding you back from? What dream are you abandoning because you're too weary? What purpose are you hesitating to chase because you're at your limit? My friend, you don't need strength to shine. You need God's grip. You need your faith, your courage, your trust in the one who's holding you. The struggle may test you, but it can't stop you unless you let it. Rise, release the despair, and hold on to the destiny God's crafting. The world needs your light, and no breaking point can dim what God's designed. Now let's talk about holding on so vibrantly that the exhaustion and despair become whispers in your story. Not to dismiss the pain, but to honor God's purpose in you. Hold on for his glory, not just survival. When you're at the end of your rope, it's tempting to focus on the struggle, but that's a trap. Instead, use your heart to serve God's kingdom. Share your gifts, shine boldly, pursue your calling even in weakness. When you hold on for God, your light grows, ready for the moment he renews you. Dr. Munroe said, your purpose is God's priority, not your limits. Let that drive you. Hold on with confidence, knowing God's grip is your anchor. The despair might stir doubt, but trust that your light is enough, that his plan is perfect, that your destiny is secure. Step out boldly, even at your limit. When you carry yourself with the assurance that God is holding you, you glow, drawing the right people and moments to you. That confidence isn't just for you, it's a beacon for others at their breaking point, showing them they can hold on through God's strength. Hold on with purpose. Don't let the struggle derail you. Wake up each day asking, God, how can I shine for you today? Where do you want my light? Purpose keeps you steady, even when the rope frays. When you focus on what God's called you to do, you build a life that's radiant, pulling you through the breaking point. The exhaustion might linger, but you'll be too busy glorifying God to stay broken, your life shouting His goodness. To rise above this season, cultivate what I call God confidence, the deep knowing that your worth comes from the one who holds you, not the strength you have left. Spend time with Him. Let His word fill you. Psalm 23:4 says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. That's you, guided by God even at the end. When you're rooted in that, no struggle can sway you. Your light grows, ready for God's renewal. Practice gratitude too. It's easy to focus on the weight, but gratitude shifts your eyes to God's work. Thank Him for holding you, for sustaining your purpose, for the hope in the struggle. Thank Him for the lessons, the endurance, the moments of grace. Try this each day. Write down one way God's keeping you. Maybe it's a kind word, a quiet strength, or a spark of hope. Gratitude doesn't erase the breaking point, but it lifts you above it, turning the struggle into a bridge to your destiny. Let me share one more story. I knew a woman who hit the end of her rope when a chronic illness stole her career and joy, her prayers for healing silent. In her weakness, she began writing letters to encourage others, her words touching hearts. Those letters led to a book deal, restoring her purpose. Her breaking point wasn't her end. It was God's preparation, shaping a purpose that inspired many. She thrived, supported by those who valued her, her faith unwavering. That journey proved Dr. Munroe's words, your worth is in who God made you to be. Guard God's purpose in you, my friend. The breaking point can feel like the end, but every moment is God working. He's holding your heart, setting the stage for your purpose. Trust that He's not done. Your job is to keep shining, keep serving, keep being you, even at your limit, and celebrate your light. Don't let the despair dim it. Your strength, your gifts, your heart, they're all part of the treasure God gave you. Share it boldly, knowing it's enough. You are not defined by the exhaustion or the limits of this breaking season. You are defined by the God who loves you, who holds you, who calls you to a purpose that's yours alone. You are radiant, irreplaceable, a vessel of divine destiny. The breaking point is a lesson, a sign, a nudge to shine wiser. Root yourself in God's love. Release the despair. Embrace your purpose. Hold on for His glory with confidence and purpose. Lean into His confidence. Stay grateful. Trust His grip. Celebrate who you are. Do this and you'll live a life so vibrant that the struggle fades into the brilliance of your purpose, glorifying God and inspiring others to trust Him too. Go out there, my friend. Shine like you were made to. Hold on to your purpose with every ounce of faith you've got. Let the breaking point be the spark that lights your greatest chapter. The world's waiting for your light, and no struggle can stop God's plan. You've got this, and I'm cheering you every step of the way.